Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about converting between different metric units. So what that means is sometimes you'll have the measurement in centimeters, for example, but you want it in millimeters, or you have it in kilometers, but you want it in meters. And obviously the number has to change accordingly because 10 centimeters is obviously not the same as 10 meters. So we need to see first how these are equal to each other. So let's start with, I think most common and most easy is 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. Remembering that a millimeter is about the thickness of our nail, whereas a centimeter is about the width of a finger. Because we know that 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters, hopefully you can already guess, 2 centimeters therefore must be the same as 20 millimeters. If you look on a ruler, you can actually count that yes, there are 20 millimeters in 2 centimeters. But you want to be able to go back and forth without having to do that counting. So if I write in the 30 millimeters this time first, I hope you can guess that 30 millimeters is obviously equal to 3 centimeters. Now we're going to look at the same thing, but we're going to compare meters and centimeters. So maybe you already know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. If you look at the meter stick in the classroom, there's 100 centimeters on there. So therefore, 2 meters must be 200 centimeters. So hopefully you can guess already. 300 centimeters is the same as saying 3 meters. Now looking at going between kilometers and meters. So 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. 2 kilometers is 2,000 meters. Therefore, 3,000 meters is 3 kilometers. The last conversion we're going to do is with a decimeter. I'll be honest, I have never used decimeters before outside of math class. I'm not sure if maybe if you get into construction, they use it sometimes, but a decimeter is equal to 10 centimeters. So 1 decimeter equals 10 centimeters. I don't find this one as important, but it is going to show up in the IXL practice, so you need to be aware of it. Therefore, 2 decimeters is the same as 20 centimeters. So it's obviously between the size of a centimeter and a meter. Therefore, 30 centimeters, so the average ruler, is 3 decimeters in length. Now we'll look at a few examples from the IXL practice. So this one is pretty much very straightforward. It's very similar to what we were just saying. If we know that 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters, we can fill this in quite easily. So therefore, 2 centimeters must be 20 millimeters. 5 centimeters must be 50 millimeters. 8 centimeters must be 80 millimeters. And 10 centimeters must be 100 millimeters. This next example is a little trickier. It says, which is more, 10 decimeters or 1 meter? And we haven't actually compared those together exactly. So let's sort of work through what we already know. So we've said that 1 decimeter equals 10 centimeters. If that's the case, 10 decimeters must therefore be, we're timesing the 10 by 10, 100 centimeters. We've also talked about the fact that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So therefore, these are equal because 10 decimeters equals 100 centimeters and 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So neither, they are equal. Okay, this next example is a bit tricky because it has a couple steps as well. We haven't gone directly between millimeters and decimeters, but we can figure it out. So let's write down what we know. We know that 1 decimeter equals 10 centimeters. And we know that 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. So let's figure out how many millimeters is in 10 centimeters. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters, therefore 10 centimeters, we're timesing that by 10, we must times this by 10, is 100 millimeters. If you don't believe me, look on your ruler. It's clear, you can count the little bits. So now we know, okay, we have here the 1 decimeter equals 10 centimeters, and we see that 10 centimeters equals 100 millimeters. So we can actually say those things are all equal. 1 decimeter equals 10 centimeters, which also equals 100 millimeters. So from there, we can just say 1 decimeter equals 100 millimeters. So 100. Okay, this last example is particularly tricky in that there's quite a few steps, but it's the same process of just working our way to figure out how they're sort of compared to each other, converting. So it's asking us, what is more, 1 kilometer or 11,957 decimeters? So really what we want to do is find out how many decimeters there are in a kilometer. But let's start small. We know 1 decimeter is 10 centimeters. So therefore 10 decimeters is the same as 100 centimeters. We also know that 100 centimeters is the same as 1 meter. Okay, so we've built up to a meter here. So 10 decimeters equals 1 meter. Okay, let's start getting bigger because we know that there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer, so we want to build up there. So if 1 meter is 10 decimeters, 10 meters must be 100 decimeters, and therefore 100 meters must be 1,000 decimeters, and then 1,000 meters must be 10,000 decimeters. Now 1,000 meters also equals 1 kilometer. So now we know that 10,000 decimeters equals 1 kilometer. Now going back to our question, it's saying what's bigger, 1 kilometer or 11,000 decimeters? Well, if we know that 1 kilometer is the same as 10,000 decimeters, 11,957 decimeters must be bigger than 1 kilometer. So this is the larger one. Okay, good luck.